My name is Vilong. I'm going to show you how to use Postman to initiate a SOAP API request. I'm going to show you using an example against our Pymetrics endpoint where we're going to request an assessment. So just requesting for an assessment invitation link, basically. So this is designed for developers and technical folks. So let me show you. All right, you can see here we've got some details about various endpoints on our online documentation, pymetrics.com. We're just going to show you the request assessment one. So basically a whole bunch of details here that we're going to use as part of the request. You'll notice that some of these are optional and some of these are compulsory. So I pre-populated this in Postman here with this endpoint being the target endpoint for our API request. So you notice here, this will be actually www.pymetrics.com/integrations, such and such. So you would receive the client ID, client secret from your Pymetrics solution engineer. So if you haven't received this yet, please reach out to your solution engineer and they'll be able to provide this for you. Basically, there's two parts to requesting an assessment on Pymetrics from our endpoint. So one is retrieving what we call a session ID, so authenticating yourself and retrieving an assessment ID, session ID. And then from there, you would be looking to request an assessment, basically. So here, I basically set these up as variables, this client ID and client secret, so you won't see what these details are. But if I send this to the endpoint, it will give me the session ID that I need. And I've set up my Postman to store this session ID into the variables cookies, but you can also just copy and paste this out and paste it into the next request here, which is the request games endpoint. So I can replace this with this one where I have the variable. So either way it works well. I just prefer to have this one because then you know, my password and username won't be as easily visible online. All right, so key things here, you know, so I have first name, last name. I have the assessment ID, which would be provided by your solution engineer. I also like to just use an ID for the external ID, but that one's more optional. But the other key component that you do need is an email address. All right, so what you do is you send this to the endpoint and it will give you an assessment link back. So I can show you this in many different formats. That one's just a pretty overused, a formatted version of the raw payload, which is received back. But you notice that this is the link here that you would receive from this. So the key thing that you'll notice that I'm hitting the same endpoint in both requests, but the payload itself, the body here is different. So this one has request assessment and the other one has authentication. Again, the authentication one is used to get the session ID. Then we plug that into this request as part of like, you can say like a username and session ID password or session ID key. And that can be used to initiate this process. And I'll just quickly just show you what that looks like when you look at it from an output perspective, what it looks like here. So I'll just show you here, just loading this particular page. And then this will give the link of how to sign up for a candidate, basically. So I've just set it up in this way, and it's just the various details that you do need to progress in this part of the process. So this link is the link that you'll be looking to give to your candidates. So provide that into your Applicant Tracking System or CRM system so that the candidate is able to click on that and register on Pymetrics. Okay, but that's pretty much how you request an assessment on Pymetrics using our endpoint. Please let me know if you have any questions and feel free to leave a comment below if you have comments. Cheers.